Welcome back to the Critical Moves podcast. I'm Al, and today I'm joined by a very sleepy Joe. How you doing, mate?
You know, that's a derogatory term in America for an ex-president. But I'm doing just fine.
It's a good point. Well, I really appreciate you joining me because I'm conscious it's very early in the morning there, so thanks very much. I've got you out of bed in order for us to talk about Dawn of War 4, which was announced in the last couple of weeks. What do you think about that then?
Pretty exciting. You know, I haven't plugged in too much to the Dawn of War games because I've been more of a recent Games Workshop devotee. And so they've been older to me. I did play the original Dawn of War a little bit, but it didn't grab me like this old game Shadow of the Horned Rat did. And then I came into it with Warhammer Total War. But I'm excited to try this. I really am.
Yeah. Back in May, episode 30, you and I did an episode on what's hot, what's not, the Warhammer strategy catalogue. And we talked about Dawn of War. We talked about our experiences of Warhammer strategy games. And we mentioned Dawn of War then. But of course, we didn't mention Dawn of War 4 because it was a rumor. We didn't know anything about it back then.
Yeah, who knew?
But now we do. And the last couple of weeks have just been such an excellent time for Dawn of War fans. We've had the definitive edition that came out from Relic. And then we've had Dawn of War 4 announced. Crucially, Relic are not involved. It's a company called King Art Games who developed Iron Harvest. Did you play Iron Harvest? Have you seen it?
I've seen it, and I know it's really well reviewed, but I have not played it myself. How about you?
I haven't either. And you're right, it's really well reviewed, but there was something about it that just didn't click. So when I saw that Relic weren't doing Dawn of War 4, I was just thinking, what's going on there? Why the change?
I read a few things that made it make more sense to me. Did you see that Relic just left Sega?
Yeah, was that at the end of last year or
Yeah. And then they laid off some employees, so it's possible that it was just decided that Relic needed to figure their stuff out first.
Maybe. And I think that a lot of the people that were involved in Dawn of War original from 2004, Dawn of War 2, and the shitfest that was Dawn of War 3, they're no longer with Relic anymore. So they've moved on to other projects. So the original team behind the Dawn of War games are no longer with Relic. So I guess it kind of makes sense to... and also another thing, we just mentioned Dawn of War 3 there, and it was poor. It was poorly received by both critics and fans. So perhaps fresh eyes is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how old is the original Dawn of War 2?
Dawn of War 2 was released in 2009 with expansion packs in 2010 and 2011. And it was Dawn of War 3 was 2017. That's really the last time that we saw a Dawn of War game.
That's probably it. They looked back and they said, okay, they made a good game 16 years ago and a bad game 8 years ago. Let's just try someone else.
What I read was that King Art believe that Games Workshop saw their Kickstarter for Iron Harvest and they was able to get a really good look at because Kickstarters are known for being very open and very transparent and giving fans an opportunity to see the development process and what's actually gone into it. And GW have seen this Kickstarter and they've seen King Art's internal machinations and have thought, this is actually someone that would like to work with, and that's maybe why they've gone with them. But Iron Harvest, as you say, really well reviewed, but didn't quite capture me. Yeah. And I thought the whole diesel punk aspect that they had going on was really quite smart, but it just didn't quite hit what I wanted it to hit. But this could be interesting. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a look at the trailer. Have you seen the trailer yet for Dawn of War 4?
No. Let's do this. I'm excited.
Peggy 18.
We have fought the enemies of humanity across 1,000 worlds. No respite, no remorse, no mercy. We are the wrath of the Emperor, his angels of death. But the Imperium lies broken, its armies scattered and reeling. Our foes rise to drag us down, and the galaxy has been torn asunder. On the world of Cronus, we make our stand. We are the Blood Ravens. There is no victory to claim here. Only vengeance to enact. Whilst even one of us lives, we fight. For only in death does duty end.
You know, it looked reasonably far along. That looked like some good gameplay.
Yeah, it did. Now, there's been some comments made on Reddit and in other places about this being reminiscent of the art style of Dawn of War 3, not gritty enough, too polished. What do you think?
I thought it looked... Now, I didn't play Dawn of War 3 because there were terrible reviews, but I thought it looked pretty hectic and gritty. So I guess I'm coming from this clean viewpoint, I guess. I didn't play enough of the original Dawn of Wars to really get settled in on what it's supposed to look like, but I don't know. I wonder if it'll be like the Total War games where you could turn it on, though.
Oh, wasn't that one of them where you had to pay extra for the blood?
Yeah.
Do you remember? That was a real doozy by Creative Assembly where they said you had to pay $5 in order to have blood in your game. It was, what? That's,
Blood for the blood god.
Absolutely. That's taking cash grabbing to whole new levels.
Yeah. Don't make that mistake. If you listen to this, don't make that mistake.
Well, maybe they will. I'll send it to them and they can say, look, these two non-entities from Critical Moves are talking about our game and we actually don't care. But the inclusion of King Art here, I think, is quite interesting because they're really taking a risk, I think, on this, because the Dawn of War games have such a huge following. I mean, the fact that we've had a definitive edition released just a couple of weeks ago by Relic, which is excellent, by the way. I played it last night. It's absolutely excellent. I can't wait to get some time behind the keyboard and play through the Dawn of War definitive edition.
Okay, give me the background. Do you feel like they did enough to make it worthy of a rebuy? Because I have the original Dawn of War.
From what I played, and I played the tutorial mission just to refresh myself, and I played the first mission of the campaign. Yes, it looks exceptional. It looks really, really good. And it includes everything. There's 3 expansion packs in there: Winter Assault, Dark Crusade, and Soulstorm. There's 9 armies, so there's a hell of a lot of content. So it really is definitive, so as you'd expect. But what it shows is that there's clearly still a lot of interest in the Dawn of War franchise. I mean, I think the 150,000 people were playing Dawn of War Definitive Edition in its first weekend. So it's still big for an RTS game. King Art are taking a gamble by staking their reputation on this because they're going to be compared to the original game.
Well, it feels like they have welcomed that. A lot of the stuff I've seen have said this is a return to the Dawn of War 1 formula. So yeah, they are. They're welcoming these comparisons, it feels like.
They're certainly looking at Dawn of War 1 for their inspiration for Dawn of War 4, which makes perfect sense because it was the most well-received of all 3 of them. I really enjoyed Dawn of War 2, but it was very small scale. It was very RPG heavy, I guess.
Mhm.
And Dawn of War 3 was a travesty, which is such a shame. It's going to be interesting to see whether King Art can pull this off. And they are planning on doing a hell of a lot of stuff with the game. Shall I tell you what we know about it so far?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So it's set after, and you're aware of the 40k lore, so you'll be aware of the Cicatrix Maledictum, the split in the galaxy. Yeah, so it's set after that. The Blood Ravens are returning from the original games, but they've crossed the Rubicon Primaris. They're now Primaris Marines, which is probably a stipulation from Games Workshop because, of course, they want to sell models based upon this. So you've got the new repulsor tanks rather than rhinos and predators. You've got all the units which are in the current stable for Games Workshop in their 40k line. And if we're going to look at the lore in particular, the Primaris Marines are the next evolution of Space Marines. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They've got better weapons. They're taller. There was always this issue around scale creep when it came to models, and where a guardsman was becoming the same height as a Space Marine, which of course shouldn't be that way. So of course the Primaris are much bigger, as they should be.
Do you think it's an improvement? Do you think their new evolution is more fun than their old one, or do you think it will be in this game?
I think it's got the potential to be, yeah. I really like the Primaris Marines, but I've played a lot of Battle Sector where the Primaris Marines are staple in there, and I really like them. So I hope we see Hellblasters, I hope we see Aggressors, I hope we see all of the units that are available in Dawn of War 4. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. It's funny, actually, because a couple of weeks ago I put an episode out of Critical News where I said this. I'm still praying to the Emperor for Dawn of War 4. And here we are. The Emperor answered my prayers, and we've got this game. But anyway, I was telling you about what we can expect in this game. So it's set after the galaxy was split. There's 4 factions in the original game, or in the initial launch. You've got the Blood Ravens returning, the Orcs, which is, of course, the classic enemy.
I love the Orcs.
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves the Orcs, aren't they? They're British for one, and they're funny. So the Orcs, got the Necrons, and then making their debut, you've got the Adeptus Mechanicus. This is the first time they've been a playable faction in a Dawn of War game, so that's quite interesting, I think. But what I really liked is that Chaos aren't in it to begin with, and of course Chaos were the main enemy or one of the main enemies in the original games, and the Eldar aren't in either. In the gameplay that people have put up for Dawn of War 4, the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, are allied. I'm not sure whether they're playable, but that suggests that they're going to be available as well. So I guess the scope for DLC is huge. There was 9 playable races in the original Dawn of War and expansion packs, the ones we've mentioned, and also the Sisters of Battle and the Tau. So with only 4 at the initial release, you've got the potential for 5 additional DLCs with additional races. In this new game, each of the 4 factions has its own campaign, and they're saying there's going to be about 70 missions. So what, 12, 13, 14 missions each?
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty comprehensive.
It is. Add to that 10 commanders, 110 units at launch, which is the largest roster in the series history. So King Art Games are not saying, oh, well, let's play it safe. They're going all in. And they're aware of the legacy. They're aware of how popular Dawn of War was or is. And they want to make sure that this blows people's socks off.
I hope they hired some good writers then.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Joe, because as I discussed in the Critical News episode from Monday, they hired John French to co-write the campaign. And he's authored several of the Horus Heresy novels. He's done Solar War, Praetorian of Dawn. He also wrote the Araman series and the Horusian War trilogy. So he's been involved with the Black Library, which of course is Games Workshop's lore arm, for a long time.
Small aside, I have been trying to get into the world of 40k audiobooks. Holy smokes. It is comprehensive. And it's almost
There's so
like I
many,
have
isn't
no
there?
idea where to start. Yeah.
Have you listened to any of them yet?
No. And my local library doesn't keep any of them. So,
Do you get Audible?
yeah, I'm going to have to jump in on an Audible.
My suggestion to get in and get started is the Fall of Cadia,
Okay.
which is excellent. So the Fall of Cadia, is that what it's called? I can't remember. That might be the title, or Cadia Falls, or Cadia Stands. But there's one about the Fall of Cadia, which is just brilliant. And then the Gaunt's Ghost novels are really, really good as well. And then if you really like them, you can do a 50-book series for the Horus Heresy. But that's like a commitment, man. That's like a lifelong commitment. If you want to do them, I think I'm on to about 8 or 9. So if you want to start with audiobooks, do the Fall of Cadia first, then Gaunt's Ghosts, and then Eisenhorn, the Eisenhorn trilogy. Gregor Eisenhorn, he's excellent, and that's one of the rumored first TV series that are going to be put out by GW and Amazon with Henry Cavill's involvement, because he's excellent. But yeah, it's a nice little aside. I appreciate that because I love 40K. I could talk about it forever.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I like Warhammer Fantasy better, but because the 40K seems so much to wrap my head around, but I'm getting there.
And it's quite interesting because, of course, Warhammer Fantasy started first, and 40K was just like a little spin-off. But I think it's much larger than Warhammer Fantasy is now.
I do too. And it feels like they maybe learned from making Warhammer Fantasy, and they're just like, let's make every name more creative so we can sell it, and let's also make everything bigger and better and sexier.
Well, they're in the business of selling models, aren't they? So they want to make it bigger and better all the time. So yeah, back to Dawn of War 4. I'm really interested to see what John French has come up with for this campaign, because as we've said many times in the podcast, single player gamers make up the bulk of RTS gamers. So King Art have clearly done the homework, and they've realized that, and they said, like, we need to make sure we put something in place here for the single player gamer, and they have done with these 4 campaigns. If you remember, the original Dawn of War had 1 campaign, which was from the perspective of the Blood Ravens. There was nothing for the Orcs, nothing for Chaos. They came in the expansion packs. So right from the start, they're conscious that they need to appeal to single player, and they are lumping everything in right at the beginning. And I've got to respect them for that. And of course, because they are really focusing, and I think you've mentioned this, they are looking at Dawn of War 1 as their inspiration for this game.
Yeah.
Moving away from Dawn of War 2, from Dawn of War 3, and they're looking at Dawn of War 1 and saying, this was the absolute daddy. This is the one that we need to make sure that we pay homage to when we release this game.
It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Go back to the source.
It's like the Matrix. Go back to the source. But base building returns.
It's exciting.
And I think that was so missed in
Yeah.
Dawn of War 2. And when they released Dawn of War 3, they tried to bring it back in, but didn't do a very good job. So I want to see this to be a return to the series roots.
I want to be able to turtle and build a nice sprawling base until I'm out of resources. And then I want to go kill everything. That's what I want to do.
And that's always been the thing about Dawn of War, I think, is that you are encouraged to not turtle because you have to capture those strategic points in order to get the requisition, in order to build more units. It encourages you to not turtle, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking more of the old Red Alert games that I used to love.
I think you can probably tell I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, you should be, though. This is a surprise. They pulled this out of nowhere. They've made all these changes. People, I'm sure you can find endless Reddit threads that say, if they ever make Dawn of War 4, they better get rid of Relic because Relic sucked, and they better just go back to the original, and here we go. I don't think anybody was asking for the Iron Harvest devs to do it, but I don't think anybody's all that mad. Maybe I'm missing that part of the internet. It's like they just said, okay, let's just do what they want. Let's just give them what they want.
And I think many of those Reddit threads include me saying, they're not making Dawn of War 4. They're making a definitive edition. I wrote on 40kgames.com about the guy from Relic going to Warhammer World. And I was like, is this going to be a 4? Is it going to be a remaster? And we've got this remaster. So when people were saying there's Dawn of War 4, I was like, no, it's not happening. It's never going to happen. So this is all about a definitive edition. And then suddenly, here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm like a kid in a candy store. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it and see what they do.
I want to spin you a yarn real quick, though, Al. Do you think it's possible that the person that came to the Warhammer conference and talked about Definitive Edition from Relic did not know that there was a 4 coming from a different company? In my head, my personal lore, he doesn't know. And he watched the trailer with the rest of us and was mad.
You think he was mad?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll get over it, but he's in my head, he didn't even get the opportunity to try. And he's mad.
Yeah, that's it'd be interesting. I think he's on LinkedIn. So
we could ask him.
I will. I'll send you a message. Like, did you know?
Did you know? How come you didn't tell us? We're Critical Moves.
I'll message him and I'll say, not sure you've heard, but there's a Dawn of War 4 coming out.
No, don't do that. See if he wants to
Did
come
you
on
know?
and talk about how he feels about the fact that they're not doing Dawn of War 4.
Yeah, see if he can be really salty about it.
We know that would never happen, but man, it would be probably really cathartic for him. That would feel good. And
yeah, Dominic Delanic, if you want to come and tell us just how salty you are or just how much you knew about Dawn of War 4.
Tell us all about how you passed on it.
Yeah, tell us that you weren't interested and that you told GW to get bent and that you weren't making their shitty game. And that's why they went to King Art instead. We want to know. So, come and talk to us. Yeah, come and talk to us. And please don't listen to my Critical News episode where I ragged on Relic Labs as being terrible and Earth versus Mars being terrible as well, because I'm a nice person, really.
Well, you're a nice person with an opinion, not a fact. Maybe you were wrong.
And opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, and they usually stink.
That would have been a great ending, by the way. We don't have to stop, but just ending it with opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink.
But when we talk about the single-player focus for Dawn of War 4, King Art haven't forgotten about the multiplayer gamers as well. And I had this conversation with Tim recently on one of the episodes at some point, and he said, is Dawn of War, does it have multiplayer gaming? I was like, yeah, it's got competitive multiplayer. And he's like, I'll have to try it out because he's never played it. And they're bringing back Skirmish. They're bringing back co-op as well. I'm not sure whether the campaign can be played co-op, but they're bringing back the Last Stand mode, which was in Dawn of War 2, I believe, which is like a survival mode sort of thing where you have an elite unit and you face increasing waves of enemies. So
those are always fun.
I can't take anything away from King Art when we look at or consider the work that they've put into this. They've clearly done their homework. And it's a must-buy for me when it comes out in 2026.
Here's the real question, though. If they provide you an opportunity, for you, it's for you, a chance to play it 5 days early for $10 more, what are you thinking?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of hoping that they'll give us keys to play it early anyway. And I'll certainly be reaching out to them to say, hey, we're big fans and we want to cover your game. So, let us play. I mean, they gave us a key for Endless Legend 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that ended. Oh, so you got it, did you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Right, well,
many videos are coming. Beautiful, big, beautiful videos are coming from Critical Moves. The best videos you've ever seen.
Okay, huge videos, yeah.
Huge videos, way
Not
bigger
from
than
China.
No, way bigger than any videos anyone else is doing. Way better, at least. They're beautiful.
Because no one knows videos like you know videos.
Nobody knows narrating videos like I know narrating videos. The editing is all out.
Yeah, so maybe we'll be in a situation where we can get a look at the game, which would be nice. So King Art, listen to this and tell us that you want me to play the game, please, because I'll love you forever. But even if they don't, it is a must buy for me. But would I pay an extra $10, an extra 4 double cheeseburgers for the option to play it
How many
5
quid
days
is that?
early? 7.
£7? You would. I know you would.
Yeah, I would. I would because I'm really excited, and I've been waiting for this for so long, and for it to come out like it did, and it was so clever how they did it, because of course there was all this talk, there's something new, there's an announcement coming, Dawn of War, and then we got the definitive edition, and it was like, oh great, this looks great, brilliant.
Yeah.
But secretly felt a little bit bad, because what we really wanted to see was Dawn of War 4. I was like, oh well, never mind. This is a nice consolation. And then 2 weeks later at Gamescom, boom,
Drop.
Dawn of War 4 as well. Like,
yeah.
I mean, really, really smart of them, because of course they've ramped up the interest in Dawn of War with the definitive edition.
Yeah.
Get everyone talking about Dawn of War again, and then
they just did it. Sent their interest out to space, really. I mean, it's serious right now. It's everywhere. It's exciting. Even me, now I'm thinking of getting the definitive edition. I didn't even play the original enough, and I might just get the definitive.
I think Nuno said something about it's the best RTS game, because he never played the original, and I think he's kicking himself because he said it's the best RTS he's played in a long time.
Oh,
and he's like, why? And it's like, why did I not play this before? Why did I not? And Nuno's always after the next best thing, and he plays games for 5 minutes and then writes something on strategyandwargaming.com. Little plug for him.
Nice plug.
And then moves on to the next one. But he said he's really been enjoying the definitive edition of Dawn of War.
Okay, I know we're going to go soon, but real quick, what's the best campaign? Al's book on Dawn of War. Chapter 1, best campaign.
The original.
No, I mean, which one? Oh, the original Bloodraven?
Yeah. So in the original game, there was only one campaign in the original game. This is the Bloodraven's campaign. And when they released the expansion packs, they added additional campaigns. And then there was like I think it was in Dark Crusade, where they had like a world map, and you took over certain areas and all that kind of stuff. What would you call that kind of game mode? Because I can't remember. And I'm asking you at 6 o'clock in the morning instead. Like
a conquest map or something like that?
Conquest. That's it. Yeah. But for a single player campaign, the original Dawn of War campaign was hammy. It was epic in all the wrong ways. The voice acting and things were just cheesy, as you'd expect from Games Workshop in 2004. The orcs are there with their really bad British accents. I really, really enjoyed it. And as I say, I played the first mission of the campaign again last night on the definitive edition, and I can't wait to get in that. I might actually do a Let's Play series and put them all on the
if you can find the time.
I'll find the time between work, podcast, kids, websites.
Yeah, I'm trying right now to hunt down the cheapest definitive edition on the internet.
Well, if you are interested in buying the definitive edition and you have the anniversary edition of Dawn of War, which they put out maybe last year, a couple of years ago, you get 30% off. So I think I paid about £14.
I think I have the anniversary edition of the original, or 2, not 1.
Then you'd get it on Steam for about $20, I think.
Oh, I do have the Dawn of War Anniversary Edition, but the game was still only 10% off. I must have to do something. Oh, Veterans Upgrade. I see it. Yeah, I can get it for 18. That's a good deal, actually. I'm just doing it now. Right here on the pod, guys. Buying it.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Oh, I just bought it.
No, not about that. About Dawn of War 4. The Definitive Edition is excellent, but for Dawn of War 4, it's not been all sunshine and roses. There's questions around, Deep Silver as the publisher. They published Iron Harvest, but I don't think they're not as big as what Sega are.
Yeah.
Have they, other than Iron Harvest, have they done many RTS games? I'm not sure whether they're the perfect publisher for it, but they did Iron Harvest alongside King Art Games, so perhaps it was just an automatic choice for King Art to go with Deep Silver. We have to say this with the caveat that this was all pre-alpha footage. There's lots of people saying that the gameplay needs some attention. We've said already that it apes Dawn of War 3 in terms of its art style and things like that. A lot of the animations appear rough. Units aren't moving particularly smoothly. And some of the maps perhaps need a bit of work with like narrow pathways, creating checkpoints and creating choke points and things like that. Some people have complained about these things when they've seen them.
I'm just thinking about these fans probably watching it in slow motion 10 times. Like, I'm sure this has been scrutinized all to heck. I'm not criticizing the fans at all. That's not what I mean. Can you imagine putting something out and knowing that millions of people are going to watch this and they're going to scrutinize the heck out of it? We got to do our best. And they probably were like, this is going to kill them. They're going to love it.
You always find somebody to complain about something because that's just the nature of being human.
Yeah. A lot of realistic gripes, though. I mean, that would make sense. We want choke points. We want smooth animations. Makes total sense.
Yeah. And of course, there's always this situation. There's always this risk when you announce a game because people want to see everything that you've got. And of course, it's still in development.
Yeah.
Like I had this conversation with the Sanctuary guys, and people complained, some of the animations are a bit rough. It's like, yeah, but it's still pre-alpha. It's like, this is not the final product. Things will change. Things will improve. And I guess things will only ever improve. They're not going to get worse. They're just going to there'll be finesse, there'll be polish. These are things which are going to happen as things go on. So
yeah, you want footage. Don't punish us for putting out some footage for you to see. Because if they would have just released cutscenes, people would have been livid. Sure, the cutscene's great, but
yeah, there's no gameplay. We don't know what it looks like. We don't trust you. It's just AI generated crap, whatever.
Slop.
Yeah, AI slop. That's just the way it is. But it looks like it's going to be excellent. Yes, people won't be happy no matter what. You're always going to get people that are going to complain, and you have to look at the legacy of Dawn of War. You've got to look at this is from 2004, 21 years, and people have been playing it for 21 years. And no matter what you do, somebody is going to find a reason to complain. But not me.
Absolutely.
I won't complain.
No, I'm excited. Nothing but excitement over here.
I just want to see this game come out and see it be excellent and get to be the Blood Ravens again and kill orcs again. Or be an orc killing Blood Ravens if that's what you want.
With a clear path to continued growth and success. That's what I want.
You mean DLCs?
I prefer expansion packs personally, but
I would just like to see for each DLC or each expansion pack, there's a new campaign. I want to see an Eldar campaign and a Chaos campaign and a Sisters of Battle campaign, not just say, here's another faction you can play multiplayer.
Also, no DLC for $5 that adds blood.
Let's have the blood from the start.
More blood. Bigger blood.
More.
The best blood.
blood for the blood god. I want to ask our listeners then, are you excited for Dawn of War 4 as well? Go to criticalmovespodcast.com. That's our main website, and you'll find all the ways to get involved. Come and tell us, are you excited too? What are you hoping to see? Do you think that the move from Relic to King Art is a good move? Come and let us know, please. Interested to hear your thoughts. Joe, thanks so much for joining me as well. It's much appreciated. Thanks for getting up so early in the morning to come and record this. It's really good of you to do that.
No problem. Happy to do it.
This has been Critical Moves. Thanks for listening. Take it easy. Goodbye.